One thing I recognize is that life is not really fair to anyone. And so we've all had situations of injustice and devaluation in our life. So has there been a time in your life that you'd like to share with us where you felt devalued and how you overcame that?
I could ask you how long have I got, but I'll pick one situation that happened in the recent years. And because sometimes we put those things into, well, before I was born again and then I became born again. Well, this happened a few years ago. I was qualified in social work in Ireland. My full name is Grace Machelle Gabriella, and my surname is O'Neill. When I went to a Catholic school, they wouldn't permit me to use the name Grace, so I had to use the name Machelle. But my father spelt my name Machelle, which is not the normal way. So when I went to this Catholic school, there was a particular nun who decided, now when you think my character was, I didn't speak in public, I kept my head down, if you didn't notice me, I was happy. That's who I was. But she decided that actually I was trying to draw attention to myself by having MA, so she changed my name to MI. It was complicated. So when I went through all the education system, all the schooling, all the university, everything, my name was Michelle, and I didn't have the name Grace in any of my certification. And so a few years ago, I was stirred to do some postgraduate studies, and I thought, let me just get some of my old details. And, my strength of being born again was God spoke to me was forget the former things, do not dwell in the past. See, I'm doing a new thing. You're a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. And so that was my foundation of faith. And so when I came to get all these old certificates, I suddenly realized I have a problem here. Because my birth certificate said Grace Machelle Gabriella O'Neill. But my university and all my O-levels said Machelle Gabriella O'Neill. No Grace, no MA, and none of my certification lined up with my birth certificate or my marriage certificate or actually any other certificate. When I came over to the UK to go into a different form of work, I got a letter from the local, it was like a depot place where they said, do you want to change your name? And I thought, that's a crazy thing. Why do you want to change your name? I said, no, my name is fine. So I signed it, Grace Machelle Gabriella. So in the UK, I was registered with my birth certificate, Grace Machelle Gabriella. So when I realized, actually, on the system, I have no education. I have no exams.
Wow.
I have no professional career. I have nothing that I can lay claim to that says you did a good job somewhere along your line and you got something to certify you. And I came to that point thinking, God, what is all this? What's all this about? And he said, well, first of all, I have told you, forget the former things. Yeah. Do not dwell in the past. See, I am doing a new thing. And he said, I've also told you you're a new creation. He said, I have done it so easy for you. I literally let you be what I called you to be. And I've removed that whole thing. And I'm like, but God, I feel so devalued that I have no educational achievement to my name. I am no different than the person who's never done one basic exam in school. And he said, okay, so where do you get your value from? Do you really get it from your education and what you can put against your name? Or do you really get it from me?
Wow.
And that was a thundering place where God said to me, your value is based on what I say.
Yeah.
And not on what other people think you are.
Could you just minister that over?
So, Father, I speak into even people who feel that they're nothing because the culture around them say you need to have letters after your name, or you need to be certified, or you need to have some level of education. I speak into your very situation and I say you're valued because you're made in God's image. You're not valued because of what you've attained. You're not valued because of your bank account. You're not valued because of who you married or what you married into. You're valued because of who you are, and you're made in the image of God. And I speak into those things that says you're not enough. And the Spirit of God says, I have made you more than enough. And those areas of gap, the Spirit of God says, I fill them up to overflow. And I speak into your situations where you feel you cannot, you should not, and you would not. And I say, look, if the Spirit of God is saying to you to attain these things, it's for His glory and for His purpose. And it doesn't mean you can't do it. And I see where God is stretching the ability of some people. And I see God even stretching the ability of people who feel they can't even read and write. And the Spirit of God says, I can give you all things, and I can cause you to do all things through me who strengthens you. And I just hear the Spirit of God saying, there's two ladies where I see have gone into situations where they have felt that their children have gone back to school or gone back to full-time school, and they're nobody. And I just hear the Spirit of God saying, I'm opening two doors where I'm going to give you very simple, basic situations of achievement. And the Spirit of God says, as I open the doors, there's going to be possibilities of greater levels of achievement in the secular world. And the Spirit of God says, you think you can't do it because you've just been a mom for 14 years. And the Spirit of God says, daughters, this is the season where I'm taking you in what you learned behind closed doors, and I'm causing you to regurgitate it into a different form in the open playing field of education. And even as I say that, I see the Spirit of God saying, do not go by what you think your own opinion is of other people, of yourself, or other people's opinion of you, but go by what I have said. And I've said, I've called, anointed, appointed, I've chosen you for such a time as this.
Amen.
Bless you.